Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're heading all the way down to the very tip of Italy's boot. You know, that sun-drenched land of rugged mountains and, really, ancient history. We're about to uncover a wine treasure that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time. Calabria.
And yeah, this question, it really is the heart of the matter. I mean, Calabria has a winemaking history that's as old as any in Italy. But for most of us, let's be honest, it's kind of a blank space on the wine map. So, why is this ancient land all of a sudden stepping into the spotlight? Let's dive in and find out. So first, let's get our bearings. This place was once a vital part of what was called Magna Graecia, or Greater Greece, a real hub of culture and influence. But for a lot of the 20th century, due to economic hardship, the region got into a trap of quantity over quality. They were just producing bulk wine that got shipped north. Now, though, after decades of being overlooked, it's in the middle of a full-blown renaissance, and it's all thanks to a new generation of winemakers.
What's just incredible here is the sheer depth of this history. I mean, get this, we're talking about Greek colonists planting vines in the 8th century BC. That is before Rome was even founded. Even the Romans prized Calabrian wine. So this isn't some new region popping up out of nowhere. It's an ancient one being brought back to life.
And that history is literally rooted in the land itself. You just can't understand Calabrian wine without getting a feel for its geography. The secret to its unique character lies in this dramatic and, believe me, incredibly diverse terroir.
Geographically, Calabria's position is just fascinating. It's like a peninsula within a peninsula, squeezed between two different seas, the Ionian to the east and the Tyrrhenian to the west. Then, you throw in a spine of these imposing mountains running right down the middle, and what do you get? An incredible range of microclimates that are just perfect for growing grapes.
And this right here, it perfectly captures the two different personalities of Calabrian wine. Over on the west coast, facing the Tyrrhenian Sea, you've got these cooler breezes that lock in acidity, creating these crisp, aromatic white wines. But then you hop over to the warmer, drier Ionian coast on the east, and that's where you get richer, fuller-bodied reds with these intense, concentrated flavors. Two coasts, two totally different styles.
Oh, and it's not just the sea that shapes the taste. The soils are a complete mosaic. You've got clay, which is great for holding water and gives the wine's body and structure. Then there's limestone, which gives you excellent drainage and imparts this really vibrant acidity and elegance. And up in the mountains, granite soils contribute this intense minerality and finesse. It means you can have vineyards just a few miles apart and the wines will taste completely different. How cool is that?
All right, so who are the main characters in this story? With a terroir this unique, you're going to need grapes that can really express it. So let's meet the ancient, native grapes that are the true soul of Calabria.
Okay, the absolute star of the show here is Galliopo. This is Calabria's signature red grape, and it was likely brought over by those very first Greek colonists. It produces these structured, elegant wines that have an incredible capacity to age, especially from the Sierra DOC. That's basically a stamp of quality and origin. I mean, over time, they develop these complex notes of spice, earth, and leather. Just fantastic.
So here you can see our two main players, side by side. On one hand, you've got Galliopo, powerful, age-worthy, full of red berries and spice. And on the other, you have Greco Bianco, refreshing, aromatic, just bursting with citrus and floral notes. Together, they really do tell the story of Calabria's two coasts.
And it doesn't just stop with those two. Oh no, there's a whole treasure trove of other native grapes here. Winemakers are reviving these amazing varieties like the dark, tannic Magliocco Canino and the complex white Montanico, which is just adding this incredible diversity to what Calabria can offer. Okay, so how does all this, the dramatic land, the influence of two seas, these ancient grapes, how does that all translate when you sit down for a meal? Well, the answer is perfectly. Calabrian wine is made for Calabrian food. It's as simple as that.
Let's take the region's famous Induja. It's this fiery, spreadable sausage. It finds its perfect match in a fresh, dry Syrah Rosato. Why? Because the rosé's vibrant acidity and bright fruitiness just cut right through all that richness and cool down your palate. It's a perfect balancing act.
And what about the cheese? The local sheep's cheese, Pecorino Crotonese, when it's aged, gets intensely savory and salty. That kind of flavor calls for the structure of a classic Syrah Rosso. The wine's firm tannins and earthy notes are just strong enough to stand up to the cheese, creating this classic, unforgettable pairing. And of course, with two coastlines, seafood is king.
But we're not talking about simple grilled fish here. A dish like swordfish alla giata is packed with intense flavors like tomatoes, olives, and capers. It needs a wine that can handle all that, which is why it's just elevated by the crisp minerality of a Greco Bianco. It slices right through the sauce and makes the freshness of the fish pop.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, Calabria is on a really remarkable journey. It's going from being this forgotten corner of the wine world to a rising star, and it's doing it by looking inward at its own unique strengths.
In this comeback story, it's all about respecting legacy while embracing the future. You've got producers like Ippolito, founded way back in 1845, alongside other pioneers like Librandi. These are the folks blending centuries of tradition with modern techniques to drive this incredible new wave of quality.
So their path forward, their playbook, is really built on three key ideas. First up, they're proudly focusing on their own native grapes. Then, they're pairing that with a deep commitment to sustainable farming to protect that unique land. And finally, they're opening their doors, inviting the world to come and experience the culture firsthand through wine tourism. And that really brings us to the final question, doesn't it? The secret of Calabria is officially out. Its wines offer this unique story of history, of a dramatic and beautiful place, and of the passion of its people. They're not just a drink, they're an invitation to be part of their incredible journey of discovery.